Hello, my name's Kylie Attwell. I'm an author, content curator, and facilitator for self-transformation. In my last video, I promised to share the most effective methods for overcoming emotional trauma. There are now numerous ways to process and release this type of wounding. The most widely known and accepted method is to identify the emotion and to feel it fully. When you allow the full intensity of the emotion to wash over you, it's processed and released. Now, this is easier said than done. It's not always convenient or appropriate to process emotions in the moment they arise. For example, you might become emotionally triggered when you're at work, out in public, or with someone that you've just met, and saying something like, "Please don't mind me, I just need to process an emotional trauma," would be really awkward and weird. Also, it's not always possible to consciously conjure the same painful feeling and level of intensity in a safe environment on command. When I first applied this method, one of three things happened. 1, I couldn't evoke the emotion, so I felt like I was faking it. 2, if I was able to successfully tap into the emotion, it was often only for a very brief period. I've found that emotions can be really slippery little suckers. You start feeling into them and then they quickly disappear altogether. 3, I ended up drowning in the emotion, and no matter how much I felt into the emotion, there was no real sense of release or relief. There was no bottom. Fortunately, I was able to stumble across other emotional release processes that are far less painful and significantly more effective. The beauty of these processes is that they can be applied at a later time. I discuss each of these methods in my third workbook, but to give you a brief insight, they include writing about your traumatic experience, which I've found to be far more effective than talking about it. The emotional freedom technique, which is also known as EFT or tapping. Applying humour. Washing the emotional wound with the light of God. Using electromagnetic frequencies. And taking homeopathy or flower essences. Now, most people would be familiar with Rescue Remedy, which is a bark flower essence. When I'm doing my own emotional release work, I draw on one or a number of the modalities I've just mentioned, depending on the issue and the depth of the wound.
Oh, I have